Okay, so I tried recording this already, but it didn't go well. So in one of my last videos, somebody asked me what I was making out of beads, and so this is the finished thing. It's a handbag. Not sure how happy I am with the handle thingy, but if you look real closely, you can see the yarn. This is a pattern that I learned from my candy making days long ass time ago in a town called Kickapoo. So I kind of wanted to show you how you start this sort of thing. Anything that you can make out of a square, you can make with this pattern. So like you can make a bracelet with this pattern using elastic string and the beads. I used yarn for this because I didn't need it to stretch. It's quite heavy. It was pretty much just an experiment. So I'm going to show you how I went about doing this. So how to start and how to do the next row. So you're going to need however many strings you think you might need, all of the same length. I'm recording this on my phone, so I will have to set it down periodically, and I think I should I'm not sure if this is too frayed or not. Anyway, so whatever type of string you need, and how many strings you need it, all the same length. And you're also going to need 2 yarn needles, or if you're using a thinner string, just threading needles. This is my stylus, and beads of whatever size will fit on your string. I wish I had a way to attach my phone to my chest. See, what I did when I tried to record this the first time is I tried to hold it between the bottom of my chin and my chest, and it fell and it stopped the video. So I'm like, oh no. So this is going to be kind of hard. Oh, but I can pause it. Cool. Hang on. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to put the string through the eyes of the needle. Think about your string length because it's going to be folded in half, but you also want a significant amount of string on this side. So you have to factor in how many beads you want, how long you want it, while making sure there are enough tails. So it's going to be folded in half like this. And I'm going to use bright yellow. I don't know if I can do this with one hand. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to put in one bead and bring it all the way over here, like so. And then I'm going to use a different color just so you can see. Maybe not pink, maybe, okay, how about this light blue? And then you're going to thread the light blue and bring it all the way over here on the bottom. So now you have 2. Now if you're doing something like this where you have different rows of different color, then you're going to want to take your yellows and fill them up to the length of string. But first, because this is what you'll do, is you thread both strings into this one bead and then slide it all the way over here to basically close off these 2 beads. So now you have something like this that keeps it pretty much in place. And make sure you have your top and bottom string separated from each other. Now I'm going to fill this row with yellows. Okay, so now I have this. I didn't fill it all the way because these are the only yellow beads that I could find in here of this kind of bead. I have this matte yellow and I have these chartreuses, but this is just an example. So okay, so next you're going to do is you're going to thread another blue so it comes up here, and then move this yellow to the side so they'll be right here. I'll show you. Okay, so like this, and then you're gonna take your bottom string and thread it through the next yellow. So now you have this. You're gonna keep doing that until you reach the end. You're gonna go a yellow with a blue underneath, and then both threads, so bottom thread also goes through this, like every other one. So I'll go ahead and do that, and you'll see. Don't, no, don't do that. So now you have something like this. So basically your row of color is gonna have 2 diagonal ones. But how do you get underneath this one? Oh, by the way, before you start any project, make sure you have enough materials. I didn't have enough blue, so I had to change it to white. So what you're gonna do, and you want to make sure that the end finishes with 1 bead of the previous color. You leave the tail just the way it is, don't bother with that, and make sure it's real nice and tight. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put your threading needles on each end of the second string, and you're going to put it through this one and make sure it's even. And then once the first thread is through this one, you'll put your next row of beads. I'm sorry, I'm not a good teacher because I can't talk. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So now the string looks like this once it's threaded through the bottom last one. If you are changing colors, you're going to put, let's say I do this blue. No, let's say I do the chartreuse. Then you're going to thread the chartreuse on there. But I'm going to do, no, I am going to put a different color on. But if you were to do the same color for several rows, you would put another white one right here. But I'm going to change colors so you can see. So now that I've done chartreuse, I'm going to take another white bead and I'm going to close this off. So now that you've slid your white over here to close off these two, you're going to take the first thread or first string and thread it through this one. So now you have this. So both threads are going through this one and the top thread is going through this one. Now you're going to do the same thing, basically. On the top thread, you're going to put a white. On the bottom thread, you're going to put chartreuse. And then you're going to put both strings through another white. And I'll do that along this way and then show you the result. Or instead of interchanging them, you can fill this with the amount of white you need. So I would stick one right here in between those whites, and I'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. And then you're going to close it off with an 8th one. So I'll do that real quick. Okay, so now you have an entire row of white. This will be the one where you close off in the second string. So I have 20 yellows and 20 whites. Okay, so you'll need an even number for each row. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the second string and put chartreuse underneath here, and then thread through here, chartreuse up here, thread through here, and so on. So now you have this. 2 strings on top, 2 strings on the top closed with a yellow, the bottom closed with a white. Now you're going to tie those together, but real loosely. So now you have a loose knot. I do that just to make sure it doesn't fall off because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the tails yet. If you were to continue the chartreuse, you would just add another string of the same length as the other two and continue on chartreuse, and then maybe blue, chartreuse, etc. So, and if you want to make like a little flower design, like say you have this little circle right here, I'm going to take some beads. So you can do a flower like that. Not sure what other shapes you can make out of it, but you know, get creative and stuff. So you can make it as long as you need to, horizontally, or as wide as you need to, and as long as you need to. Just make sure you have enough beads and whatever string you're using. If you're going to make a bag like this, your last row is going to have one color and then another color on the bottom, but it's going to go through a bottom like that and not have every other bead, which I think you can do. I just didn't think at the time. Now that I'm looking at it, I don't know. You can, it's all trial and error. You could probably do better than me. And then I tied off the tails like this. You can do whatever you want, whatever comes to your mind. So that's how I did that. And I'm sorry that recording from my cell phone was annoying, but that's what I'm doing. I promised baby girl I wouldn't get on the computer. So if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, spread the word of awesome. Don't forget to click the little bell. And I'll see you later, alligators and crocodiles. Goodbye.